Fresh killer.
What up, tribe? What it do? Yo, episode 7 of Atlanta called Trini to the Bone. Listen, this shit was whack. Yo, I don't, I don't want people to think like people love Donald Glover so much, right? That it's like if you didn't like something, people be like, well, you didn't get it. You're not deep enough. It's, it's not. It's the same thing with Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele came out with that second movie, Us, and people like it was whack. Like it definitely wasn't as good as Get Out. People were like, oh, you didn't get it. It's about capitalism and listen, man. Sometimes something just isn't good, man. And with this particular episode, it is certain, it has been established that of the 3 seasons of Atlanta, this season is the worst. The first 2 seasons were way better than this one. I don't know what the next few episodes, what the remainder of season 3 has in store. I hope great things, great eye-opening, entertaining, engaging, sophisticated, but ratchet humor and irony and drama and all that stuff, right? I hope all of that stuff is to come. But thus far, there have just been multiple episodes this season that have been duds, and this is one of them. It started out with a white guy jogging. Now, of course, spoilers abound. You know how I do. Start out with a white guy jogging. And at that moment, I said, oh, it's going to be one of these episodes where we don't see any of the characters that we've grown to love and the storylines that we want to know what's going to happen next. The relationships that we want to see, how are they going to unfold, and the answer to the questions. We don't get any of that. We get a digression. We get a total digression of an episode. And not only that, oh, this is going to be one of those episodes where you see Black people through the lens of whites. I don't care about how white people view us while we're grieving, because that's what ultimately happened in the episode. Someone passed away, a house, I don't want to say housekeeper, but the nanny of this white family. She is a Trinidadian woman, and she's not only watching their son Sebastian, but apparently they don't know what she's teaching him, because there are all type of customs and traditions and family members that he knows about. They have no idea, and all this comes to light at the funeral. So, but just to get back to my point, I don't watch Atlanta to see this social experiment. What happens when you put the whitest kind of white people in a Black setting? Same thing with the reparations episode. That's not my bag. I don't think I'm a hardcore Atlanta fan. And I think I speak for most Atlanta fans when I say we're into it, because all of the nuance and all of the elements and components and shades of Blackness, all of those things, all the variants of Blackness, from the robust to the subtle, to the ashamed, to the proud, all of those kinds of Blackness. Atlanta be a microcosm for the whole Black universe. I like that. I like to be seen through the lens of a character I know, not through a white person. That just a random white person. The first episode we've ever seen them in, we won't see them again. I don't care to see that kind of experimentation. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We've established that. Bet. Let me get back to the episode. So it was speaking to, ultimately, at the funeral, it was revealed that this nanny was not able to be there for her own children because she was busy raising Sebastian. And they grappled with the fact of, oh, she was supporting us financially, but at the same time, she wasn't there for them when they needed her to be there. They needed her tenderness and her guidance and her presence. But she was living with this white family. It was a live-in nanny situation. And she was away a lot. Happened in slavery a lot, where, of course, well, I don't know if you know this, but they had wet nurses. They had the African-American women would breastfeed the little white babies on the plantation and basically just raise them every single second of every day, just raise the children. And I know that they were speaking to that, not just in slavery, but man, in the 50s and 60s for a long time. Before now, it would be a Spanish-speaking person, an El Salvadorian woman, a Mexican woman that would take on that role. And if you got a lot of bread, then you order a South African to watch your kids and to be a live-in nanny type situation, right? That's what the well-to-do families are doing. But it was Black people, particularly in the South, for a long time. And up in New York, where this episode takes place, Black people from the Caribbean, okay? And so they speak to that. And shout out to, Donald Glover for speaking to that. Also, in this time of great tribalism within Black people, where one could easily argue that the ideals of Pan-Africanism established by Marcus Garvey and also Malcolm X was a Pan-Africanist as well. This idea that we are all connected through our Blackness all over the world. By taking a look at Twitter and social media, one could easily argue that that era is over. My goodness. We have so much infighting between, I call it infighting because I still feel like Black people have deep connections throughout the world, but it's a concept that seems to be, it might be being phased out, right? Nigerians are funking with ADOS people and Caribbean people and all this social media beef happening back and forth. In the climate of that, this has been happening for the past few years. Donald Glover is staying true to these ideas. He has an episode under the Trinidadians today on this episode. And also, last episode, remember he was talking about the Nigerians. They jolt off in the Nigerian food and all of that. They gave a shout out to Nigeria last episode. So keeping Pan-Africanism alive. Donald Glover is doing that, and company in the Atlanta crew, they're doing that well. Another thing I noticed when it was coming on is they gave a shout out to Sada Baby, y'all. Sada, man, nobody keeps their ear close to the hip hop scene than Donald Glover and who's ever coming up with the music on that show. They have somewhat obscure UK artists on there, and they have up and coming artists. Remember, we all know the Amigos is this big, super gigantic group, probably the biggest group in hip hop. One thing that helped take them to the next level is when Donald Glover shouted them out. He said, shout out to the Migos for making Bad and Bougie, which is like the greatest song ever. He said something like that. I think when he was accepting an Emmy, right, or accepting an award, he said that to the Migos. Oh my God, and the single just got, I'm sure it's big in the Atlanta area, but after that, it like spread everywhere. Raindrop, drop top. Remember that? Oh my God. So Donald Glover did that. He also had the Amigos in an episode, I want to say, of season 1, right? Before they were a super big. So, he puts people on. This brother puts a lot of people on. Who is Sada Baby? Sada Baby is this rapper out of Detroit, man. He has the most unique flow ever, man. He got this song called Pony Down. Oh my God, man. I'm an educated Black man. I'm trying to make a living and I'm trying to calm down. I'm trying to make an impact and positively in society. Man, when I hear Pony Down, I want to do very violent, grimy, gangster, thugged out things, man. Like my primal Deep East Oakland come out when I hear that Pony Down, man. Like, I'm about to turn the buddy upside down. Anyway, that's Sada Baby straight out of Detroit. And it starts off with Sada Baby. Man, it's a great look for Sada Baby. So I appreciate Donald Glover doing that. But overall, man, I got to get back to my point, and I'm going to stand on this, man. This episode is, yo, man, he's getting so far out there, and he's experimenting so much. It's like you're abandoning these characters that we've invested in, bro. Like, are you trying to really prove that you can direct white people and, you know, get outside of whatever box that people may think that you are in? I'm not exactly sure what's happening. I'm not exactly sure why this episode needed to happen in the way that it did. I thought it was whack, straight up, man. I thought this episode was whack, and I thought that this season, I hope they can bring it back for the rest, for the rest of the season. I hope they could really bring it back in season 4. But all these needless digressions, man, it's getting tired, man. I think he's trying to be too artistic, and it's trying to be too expansive as far as how he deals with these themes. I'm not with it. We got a lot of shows that deal with things from a white perspective, man. This is Atlanta, bro. Like, stay in that place. Stay there. That's enough. The Black consciousness, the Black psyche, the Black analysis, Black characters, Black dialogue, speaking through Black lips. That's enough. That's more than enough. That's what made this the best show on TV. You dig? All right. And that's my perspective. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, subscribe to the tribe. Drop a comment, share this with your auntie, your uncle, your mama, and your daddy, and your firstborn kid. Peace, tribe. And another one.